what's going on, parents?
Hi, parents. Welcome to Teenager Tuesday.
We are back.
We're back.
Part three.
Part three
of our series called
series.
Friendship.
Yep.
Yeah. So last week was about talking with our students about the perspective of them having good friends, or them being a good friend.
Yep.
This week, it's about making good friendships. Won't be an all-encompassing, podcast because our podcasts are about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll hit on some things that maybe aren't quite as commonly thought or worked through, or conversations that are brought up. So hopefully this is helpful on working with your student on making good friends. Number one with this, as always, we tend to bring it back to what example are we setting? Are we setting as parents? So number one, use your friendships as an example. Tisha, I found this very interesting Michigan State study.
Yeah, I love this study.
They followed parents and their students over a number of years. And what they found is this pattern that their students repeated the types of friendships and even this is crazy, even what they did in the friendships, like what the friends did together.
Yeah.
Students repeated what they saw their parents doing. So they learned so much about what friendships can look like, should look like, whatever, by just watching.
Right. This just confirms what we say all the time is that parents are the biggest influence in students' life. Even if they don't feel like it, they are. And so this confirms it with friendships. And we've seen all kinds of studies like this. So it's just such a good reminder for us parents, like, hey, who are the people in your life?
Yes.
Are you making wise choices in your friendships? Are you making choices in your friendships? Are you inviting people in?
Yeah.
So I love that.
And can your students see that?
And are you doing it in front of your students?
Yes.
Yes.
Bring your friends around your students.
Yeah. And even talking about your friends in front of your students. My friend did this, or I did this, or we're taking dinner tonight over to this friend because of whatever reason. Like, I think it's good for us to do that. So yeah.
That's a great point too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you are close friends with them, that means you probably trust them quite a bit.
Right.
Why not have another great influence around your student?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Friends that become family, right?
Yes.
That you're choosing friends that become family.
Yeah. What's the quote? Friends are the family that you choose.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And how better is it for your students to see a fulfilled friendship that you have? I mean, I have a lot of people who, they call their parents, friend, aunt, uncle, because they're such a big part of their lives because of the life that they've shared together. So love it. Okay, so we're going to number two, separate friends from close friends. We know this in today's day and age, people have hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of acquaintances. I have thousands of contacts in my phone.
Yeah.
But not all of them are my best friends. And that's the reality. Who are their top 9 pinned? You know what I mean? Like, help them figure out who those top 9 should be, or who those top friends are. Just because they're in the band with 200 other people doesn't mean all of those people are their close friends.
Yeah. Or even have to be close friends.
Or even have to be. They shouldn't be. Like, hopefully they're seeing this, that you're doing this, but you're also teaching them and telling them with your words, like, hey, your close friends should be people that you trust, that you love, that you know, and who are those people in your life? Yeah. And just because they're in your general vicinity because of an event or whatever, or because of they're in sport, you're in sports together, you're on a team together, doesn't mean that they are your close friends. So help them separate even what that looks like from acquaintances to friends, and who are your close friends and why are they your close friends?
Yeah. For parents that don't know, Tisha, what do you mean by the pinned top 9?
Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you have an iPhone, you can now pin 9 conversations to the top. So you can literally, when you open your text thread, there are 9 conversations you can pin on the top, and those are your close people, right? And so those are my close people. My best friends are up there. My husband's up there. Some my work texts, some of them are up there. My group chats.
The ones that are important, because we're all in group chats that we don't want to be in.
Right. So the ones that mean something, you pin them up there. And so who are someone's top 9?
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. I just assumed. I know, culture update. I love it.
Okay, Tisha, so what is number 3?
Yeah. Okay, so remind your students that, and we kind of just talked about this, but remind your student that not every acquaintance will become a best friend for life, right? Just because, sometimes your students, and you've seen this, I've seen this, they struggle to make friends. And what happens is those that struggle a little bit harder, they find someone who shows a little bit of interest in who they are and they latch on, right? Yeah. And so your student can become like annoying to that student, right? And they're like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this. Or sometimes you've probably seen this vice versa too, where, your student has shown just an interest, a friendship, a friendly type tone to a student, and that person will not leave your student alone. And it becomes annoying and crazy, and it's very hard to navigate. You can navigate it, but it's teaching them that like not every person they come in contact has to be their best friend. Not every person they come in contact with has to know every single detail about them, right? It's kind of vetting those people. It's figuring it out. It's, realizing that their friends, your students' friends, also have other friends. And so navigating feelings of jealousy and like wanting all of that friend's attention when, nobody's going to do that. That's the truth. And that's the reality.
It's kind of like I've seen when someone maybe is feeling low on that's kind of when I've seen where it's like, you can't have other friends than me. Yeah. It's almost like that protective.
You're mine.
Exactly. And I think this is good too, because then it teaches our students that sometimes we have best friends for a season. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And,
I can look back at my life, and I'm sure every parent can, and I'm sure you can, Will, look back at your life, and in different seasons, you can highlight who that best friend is. And I can tell you that some of my best friends from years ago are not my best friends now. Yeah. And it's not because I don't like them in any way. It's just our seasons changed. Our lives changed. Yeah. Maybe there was a move that happened.
Proximity.
Absolutely. And stages of life with kids, a lot of that has to do with changing friendships. So it is just teaching your student that, and just, reminding them that, the person you sit next to in class and chit chat with and kind of have a good camaraderie with does not have to be your best friend. Friends are really people who understand you, value you, and want the best for you. Yeah. And you'll know you'll be able to help them identify, I think, who those people are.
Well, and one of the ways they can help them identify is, number 4 is highlight good qualities that you see in their peers. Yeah. Like the more you highlight what you like about their friends, the more likely they will be to then look for people with the qualities that you highlight.
Yeah,
if you're like,
so good.
What I love about Jennifer is that she ... Yeah. What I love about your friend, because then you're building camaraderie with your student.
Absolutely.
Because you're affirming something about someone that they like or love or are considering to be a best friend or something. Yeah. And you're also expressing what good qualities in good friends look like.
What it means,
without having to sit down and say,
here's the list.
Let us talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because there are places for that conversation. And the earlier the better. If you have a 6th grader, talk about friends really quickly, like what they can look for.
Yeah.
But at any point, I think it's good to just highlight what you see as good attributes that are around your student.
Absolutely. And just also remembering like, hey, I see you being a good friend in this way too. Yeah. That helps too, I love that. And we've heard this a million times, what gets celebrated gets repeated. I love that. Okay, we're moving to 5. Close friends equals shared value. I think, again, this takes time for students to know and really understand this. They're right now in the middle, I think, of developing who they are, who their values are, and it's figuring out who in their circle also has those values and who's kind of walking in the same direction that they are. And honestly, this takes time to navigate. People aren't going to know this after 1 or 2 meetups or hangouts or coffees. They may know, but there may be some yellow flags or something like that. But for the most part, it's going to take a little bit of time just to teach them that value-based friendship is way more important than even like, hey, we both have a common interest in this thing. Well, you might both have that common interest, but their values are way different than your values.
Yeah. And we're talking about close friends too.
Yes, we're talking about besties. Yes,
the ones that
labels
you are
besties.
Vulnerable. Yes. The pinned conversations.
The top 9. Yeah. The top 9. Yeah.
Something I love about that is that it can take attention away from attention.
Yeah.
Like sometimes young people
That's
can kind of
good.
just latch onto close friends in
Yeah.
their mind of like defining that as who gives them attention,
Yeah.
where the person giving them attention might not have the best values
Yeah,
that are good for them.
absolutely.
So the more we can get them to focus on shared values,
Mhm.
the better their friendships will be, the better they will be
Yeah.
in long term, and the better their relationships will be.
Yeah, for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
It's good. I love this verse in Proverbs 3:20. It says, "Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble."
Yeah.
When we walk and live with others who are pursuing God, then we too will move in that direction.
For
That's
sure.
just the truth. But
Yeah.
when we decide to surround ourselves with people or with fools, as
Mhm.
Proverbs say, the scripture says, then we end up getting in trouble because our behavior then becomes foolish.
Mhm.
So walk with the wise, become
Yeah.
wise, or walk with the foolish, associate with the foolish, and become
Yeah.
foolish
Just
and get in
happens.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does
Yep.
just happen.
Happens to all of us.
Every single one of us, for sure.
Yeah, it is. Parents, we'll see you next week. Next week is a very special episode. So make sure that you tune in and to share all of these episodes with people inside of our church, outside of our church.
Yeah.
We would love to just be a resource for everybody that we can. So signing off, you can do this. You're not alone. God is with you, and so are we. Have a great week.
Yes, bye, parents. See you soon.